How's it going, my alphas? It's Jared Juggernaut here. I want to go ahead and talk today about martial arts because I haven't done that in a good while. And I want to talk today about being stanceless because I never really mention this that much in my videos about how the best stance in martial arts is to not have one. And by that I mean it's basically to utilize everything. You know, there's a martial arts clip of Bruce Lee. Well, it's actually a movie clip where a Shaolin monk is asking him, I think it's like Enter the Dragon. He's like, and what is the best technique? And Bruce Lee answers, to have no technique. That basically means to know everything to where you're almost like an abstract artist. It's kind of like, say for example, a musician. When you become a certain level of musician, say a drummer, because I know drums pretty well, you can do things to where it's almost unorthodox. It's very creative, and it's your own kind of thing. And it's the same thing with martial arts. You want to utilize everything, bro. You could even think of it as like cooking, cooking a meal. Put in all kinds of different seasonings and, make some kick-ass kung fu chicken. Or what is that? Kung pao chicken. I used to have that at Panda Express. I don't know if they still have that, but... So basically, my advice to you guys is to practice different stances. My old sensei, this karate guy I used to know, he was a little bit closed-minded, but one thing that he said was, you never want a stance to last more than a second or so, because when you're in the same stance, your enemy will eventually be able to read you. And you don't want your enemy to realize what style you're doing. Like, you don't, and also it goes both ways. You don't want your enemy to fight their style, and you don't want them to see how you're fighting. You see what I'm saying? You want to be unreadable. You know what I mean? Don't let them read you, bro. That's why you always want to change stances after attacks, after blocks, stuff like that. Practice different stances. I can tell you a few different ones if you like. I personally have... I've been practicing a lot of Muay Thai, like stand-up stance. Like, what I mean by stand-up stance is basically like you're so upright that like your glutes are really tight. It's they call it walking stance in Taekwondo, but I've noticed with Muay Thai it's even different than that. Like your hips are so out that it's like your glutes are about to bust. You want to do that because it allows you to kick so fast, and it also gives you a lot of power in doing so. I think the most powerful kicks probably come from like horse stance. That's because there's more distance. You could debate that though, but Muay Thai does have really powerful kicks, and I've been doing a lot of Muay Thai. The thing about Muay Thai is if you're a heavy guy, it's so easy to fight like that because you don't have to squat much. You're not really bending down a whole lot. So I will admit, like, a lot of my style has become Muay Thai, but I'm still trying my best to, incorporate other styles. I love Tai Chi. Tai Chi is one of my favorite fighting styles because it allows you to flow really easily with your enemy. You're using a lot of internal energy. Don't underestimate Tai Chi, guys. It is a force to be reckoned with. I'm telling you, like, if you know how to do it and you really master the art of the flow of internal fighting, Tai Chi, in my opinion, is probably the most, or at least one of the top 5 most deadliest martial arts. I'm not even joking. I understand old people do it at the park, but let me tell you something. When you pair up that internal energy with physical mass, with muscle, you're unstoppable, dude. That's based on the character Akira Yuki. Akira Yuki from Virtual Fighter. He does a Tai. It's very similar to Tai Chi. It's called Baji Quan, and it's part of the Wudang styles, which is Tai Chi. It's also Wudang, founded in the Wudang Mountains about roughly 600 years ago. And it's very flowy, man. You're letting the chi flow through your body. And, it may look like a dance, it's kind of like, if you ever seen Wushu, those Wushu tournaments, but let me tell you something, man, like, those dancing styles can be very effective if you know how to do them right. They are. Don't listen to people when they tell you that, the fucking choreography is just bullshit or whatever. It's not if you know how to do it. But again, don't just rely on one style, bro. You know, there's I didn't name the different stances, but there's fucking back stance. You know, there's also known as in Kung Fu, I think they call it bow stance. It's when you're kind of like a lot of your weight's on your back foot. There's climbing stance when most of the weight is on your front foot, also known as forward stance, I think, in Kung Fu. I'm not quite sure about that, though. There's horse stance where your legs are spread out, you know, typical like Shotokan karate. There's all kinds of different stances, guys. Learn them all. You know, even the unorthodox ones like Crane, you know, Karate Kid. I'm telling you, bro, you want to outsmart your enemy. And by learning more tricks, so to speak, you know, it's like what my sensei told me one time, Master Peavy. You want to be a magician. You don't want your enemy to see how you're doing a certain move. And some people will say that martial arts, you know, like karate is for weak people if you have to outsmart them. And look, man, I will admit, I mean, martial arts was created by smaller, weaker people. It is true. But again, when you pair that with muscle, you're an unstoppable force. When you can outsmart your enemy and overpower them, you're fucking unstoppable, bro. And you will be on top. You'll be the best you can be. So I hope this video helps you guys. I'm sorry I'm a little bit out of it today. I didn't sleep well last night. I don't know, bro. Sometimes I just don't sleep very well. So pardon the stutters and, you know, whatever else. I'm kind of half asleep drinking my tea here. But thanks, guys, for watching. Love y'all. And keep practicing. Cheers.